Lopez back in Miami 9 days out. You there, George? Just hit your mute.
I'm here.
Here we are, live, FightHype.com, with the one and only George Ferocious Kambosos, the face of Australian boxing, here live 9 days out, exclusive. George, you're back in Miami. You're back again. How does it feel?
Yeah, look, man, it's great to be back. You know, I'm sharper than ever. You know, the weight is unbelievable, and we're just ready to fight. You know, everyone is super excited, but I'm the most excited because it's been a long time, and I've been very patient, but 110% ready. I can't wait. It's been a big roller coaster ride with this one, but it's here. 9 days out. Let's just hope this kid turns up, because we all know that I'll be here, and I'll be doing the business.
And an added to your team with Coach Akaway has been able to travel for this. So Javier Centeno, you got your father there, you got your sparring funds, Bilal, and then obviously with Mick Akaway, you know what I mean? It's the full team now, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got the full team here. We even had Mike Basil, my cut man. He was here last week, and we're just going over a few things that he sees. You know, people got to remember that Mike was in Lopez's corner for the Lomachenko fight, so he's got a good set of eyes on him as well. But he is my cut man. I've had him for more fights, and you know, as a whole team, you know, we're just so focused. We are so, you know, we are one. We are really one, and there are no distractions, no egos. It's great to have everyone here. You know, from the Australian side to the American side to, you know, to everything. And you know, we're ready to rock and roll. We'll get to New York early next week, and you know, bring it on.
No stone unturned, George. New York is a very familiar place to you. It must feel a privilege to go back there. Your last fight was obviously in the UK, but before that, your win over Mickey Bay, it's like home turf. Yeah,
look, New York is always special. If you're going to make it anywhere, you're going to make it in New York. So what a great opportunity to win every single belt in boxing, you know, at the great MSG. You know, it's truly my destiny. And look, when I beat Mickey Bay back in late 2019, the end of 2019, you know, it was early on that night when I fought, and Lopez beat Commie that night as well. And I said, you know what? The next time I come back here, I'm going to headline a show. I'll be fighting for the title, be defending the title. And here we are. You know, it's like I manifest things, and they just, you know, when I put my vision into them, you know, they come off. And you best believe I've been manifesting this fight. You know, I've said it years ago when we first met, me and Lopez, that we're going to fight. It's going to be a future mega fight. And, you know, we're here now, and, you know, bring it on next week.
Been an incredible long camp. Obviously, the date changes 5 times. You've come out vocally lately with some Australian media saying Triller's the past, Matchroom's the future. Is any disappointment towards Triller in that they couldn't get this done?
Yeah, look, that doesn't bother me anymore. You know, I'm just focused on what I got to do next week. You know, that whole, you know, situation, you know, and then date change and everything that happened with that, you know, is a thing of the past. And, you know, I'm only looking for the future. And I'm excited to be fighting on Matchroom. They've been doing an unbelievable job, you know, on promoting this fight and giving it the respect that it deserves. And, you know, we're here. That's my focus, is what I got to do inside them ropes to win this fight, and I will win this fight. And, you know, Matchroom will promote the fight the way it's meant to be.
George, when you hooked back up with Javier Centeno, obviously you did some fantastic work here in Sydney, Australia. Was there any minor adjustments or tweaks, or was he actually shocked? Because I've had a lot of people the last couple of days saying Nick, George, and to FightHype, the people that run our channel, that George is bigger. Is that something that Javier was sort of a bit like, you've come back bigger and stronger?
Yeah, look, he goes, as soon as we hit the pads, he goes, you're bigger, you're faster, and you're hitting even harder. Because what'd you do out there? Yeah. That's just the hard work. That is just the everyday grind. You know, as soon as I went back to Australia, and look, I was prepared for any date that they had. I was ready, but this kid wasn't. And I had to go back. I got my family, I got my kids. And I went back, see my family, but I never took my foot off the pedal. I kept pushing hard. I had fantastic sparring, you know, with Lenny Zapovic and a few other good guys, obviously in Sydney. And, you know, the work that I put in, is showing. The results are showing. The way I'm looking, the weight. I could make weight tomorrow if I had to. I'll make weight right now if I have to be honest. Yeah. That's how easy the weight is. But I'm bigger. I'm stronger. And that is a testament to the athlete that I am. That is a testament to, the way I have disciplined myself and sacrificed with every bit of not only the physical training, the mental side of things, but the nutrition side of things as well. We are fully ready. We are 110% prepared, and no stones have been unturned in this whole preparation. Bring it on.
George, when will you'll go to New York? Obviously next Monday. Obviously 4 days out. There's been a little bit of animosity towards his team and his father lately that have said some things online, and it sort of seems that they're sort of more now flipped the script. They're more angry at you, and things have become a little bit more personal. From break your neck to you're going to go out in round one to Lopez Sr. saying some other stuff. Have you had chance, or has people told you about that? And what are your feelings about that?
Yeah, I find it funny, to be honest. There's never any emotion with me. I'm fully focused on the job at hand. I'm focused on the mission. And this is a military mindset that I have. So, whatever they're saying, whatever he's talking about, whatever anger they have, beautiful, bring it to the ring. But there is no emotion for me. You got what I want, and I will get what you got. So, if they're angry, they're upset, they want to have a cry, they want to whinge about it in every single interview, that's cool, man. Just be there November 27th, because I have been there every single day, and I was there June 19th. If we go back to the old school days, if we go back to real war, and I rock up and my army rocks up on a certain date, and you don't rock up for any reason, because I would have rocked up to June 19th like I did with 2 arms missing if I had to. That's the kind of fighter and warrior I am. So really, if we go back to that old school mentality and that warrior and war type approach, then I was there, but he waved that white flag. He wasn't there. So really, I'm the champion right now, and that's the way I've had it in my mind.
Do you feel, George, from the mental side, you're well up on him as we head to New York next week?
I'm too strong mentally. I am too strong with everything I bring to the table, physically, with everything, the attributes that I have and the way I'm hitting and the speed that I'm possessing. And there's going to be a real cool video coming out later on my social media that shows a little glimpse of what I'm doing. It's only a small, tiny glimpse of what I'm bringing to the table. But mentally, I've always had this mindset that can't be broken, that can't be beat. And, we all know that I'm in his head. We all know that this kid breaks very easily. As I don't even want to say it too, because obviously we did hear things about what he was going through. I'm not even going to bring it up. But, it is what it is. I'm ready to fight. Let's just hope he's there.
Here we are, FightHype.com, live around the world with George Kambosos. We'll turn to a question from a fan. Will you, George, fight Haney if you beat Lopez and victorious on November the 27th?
Yes, 100%. Look, me and Haney have very respectful to each other. We've been speaking as well. And, he's got to handle business. I've got to handle my business, which I will. And I'm confident he will as well. And 110%. This ain't no duck or dodge from Kambosos. I'll fight anyone, anytime. I want the best fighters in the world, and definitely Devin Haney. He's got that WBC belt as well. Obviously, the franchise WBC belt is on the line for my fight as well. So, beautiful. We take that to Australia. We do 80,000, 90,000 people in a mega fight in a stadium. They're going to have to build a bigger stadium for a fight like that. So that's exciting.
Some of those fighters, George, that around the 135, Lomachenko, we speak about Devin Haney, Jojo Diaz, Ryan Garcia, yourself. Gervonta, if he swings to 35 and 40, he can go back in there. Do you feel that they sort of want you to prove a point to this guy next Saturday night, Saturday week?
I think so because they've seen the way he's treated the privilege of being a world champion. They've seen the games he's played, and he's held the whole division up. He has held the division up, not me. I've been ready to fight. He has been holding the division up. So, I feel there is a lot of support, and these guys are all backing me because they know that I'll be chasing the big fish. I want the biggest names and the best fights out there that the fans want to see.
George, I said it to you earlier back in May because I respect Teofimo Lopez's power. Obviously, it was something that Lomachenko respected early in the fight for the first 6 rounds. How are you going to deal with his power and his predictions that he's changed. So he's gone from saying he's going to end you inside 3 to 1 round. A great question there on the live here is, how are you going to deal with Lopez's power?
Very simple. Bring the power on. He feels that he's got the power. Well, I feel I got the power as well. How's he going to do with my power? How's he going to do with my speed? How's he going to do with my angles that I move and come from explosive, movements and footwork that I have? That's how he's going to deal with them. But I've been in there with killers, man. I've been in there with guys that punch a million times harder than what he does. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to look at it. I want to feel the shot. I want to laugh. That's what I'm going to do.
Wow, no worries. Another fan, how will the fan knock Lopez dad out after you knock him out? I don't think George wants to knock Lopez Sr. out. It's not really his style, but
I don't want no legal cases against me. And even though I've got a very good attorney, and I'll probably do the world a favour. I'm respectful. At the end of the day, I've said it the way it is. Nothing that I have said has been, lies. Everything's been from the heart, and what the people see is what I'm saying as well. So, look, that's I'm focused on taking out his son, and if he's got a problem, my dad's here as well, so they can sort it out. But I've got a mission to do.
How different has it been? A question from the fan. How different has it been dealing with DAZN compared to Triller? Because with Triller, you never really got off. It sort of got there, and then it didn't get off the ground at all. So DAZN's not new to you.
Yeah, look, my last fight was on DAZN with Matchroom Eddie Hearn when I beat Lee Selby, and I just know the professional outfit that they are. The way they run things is so smooth, and there's a date set. That's the fight. The promotion side of things, the way they're pushing this fight, they're just an established promotional company. If not one of the best in the world, if not the best. So it's great working with Matchroom, great working with Eddie Hearn. The kind of promoter Eddie Hearn is. When the fight was obviously set for Matchroom, he reached out and messaged me privately and said, "We're looking forward to working together." And it's exciting to have this big fight on our platform. Which kind of promoter goes out and actually messages a fighter like that? That's the kind of guy that Eddie Hearn is, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be very exciting.
George, moving forward, we spoke to Dempsey McKean, one of our big heavyweights, who's fighting on DAZN and Matchroom tomorrow. Looking forward, Eddie Hearn, DAZN, Matchroom look like coming to Australia in spring of next year. This could be the face of it right here in 9 days' time. Your feelings around that?
Yeah, I think they got big plans around what I'm going to do next week, and a lot of them plans, is I hold a major impact in it because, like I said, a fight between myself and Devin Haney, or a fight between any big name in the lightweight division, even a rematch with Lopez, even though I'll probably make him wait because he's made me wait. That's big numbers, stadium fights, huge numbers. And that's the way they want to come into to Australia. They want to make a big mark, and I'm all for it. If I'm the undisputed champion, I got all the belts. We will welcome it if it works right and the numbers are right and everything is the way we want it as well. Then we'll do it.
Because if you're victorious Saturday week, you're going to do the first thing since an Australian's done since Jeff Horn won the world title, but it's actually 4 times bigger than that. And for people in Australia that are not quite chewed onto it, it's never, ever, ever been done before from anyone in this country. Is there an added pressure, George, for you to do that, or is it just more, I'm on task, it doesn't matter if it's for 1 belt or for 4, I'm still dealt with the task at hand?
Yeah, look, it doesn't matter if there's no belts on the line, to be honest. I'm just excited to get inside the ropes with this kid and shock the world and shock him and show him that you're not who you think you are. But I know the stakes are high. I know all the marbles are on the line. I know there's a lot of history with this fight.
Yeah.
That's just that added fuel. That's that motivation that pushed me a little bit more. There is no pressure. There's never been any pressure. Even when I have my big fights, my final eliminators, my opportunities to, open up doors, the certain sparring sessions I had to get me to move to the next level. I've never had any pressure. I've just taken it day by day, and I back what I believe in my preparation and what I do inside the gym, my hard work and my sacrifice to the sport. So, I'm just looking forward to it. It's going to be a a great event, and I'm going to shock the world.
FightHype.com live here with George, ferocious around the world. George, looking at that, when you spoke about some past performances, a question here from a fan is, what's your best performance so far in your career?
Look, I had some really good fights in Australia as well when I took the top guys out there, and a couple of guys were inside the top 10 in the world. But look, the Selby fight, forget the English judge. He put that little mark on the fight where it created a split decision. The fight was 118-110. It was 10 rounds to 2. I outboxed a superior boxer, a guy who is known to be such a unbelievable boxer, and a guy who defended the belt 6 times, who is still the number 1 lightweight in the UK. I mean, a guy that's been there and done it. And he was bigger than Lopez, rangier than Lopez. So, that was a very good win, to do it on his turf, to do it in his hometown, to do it on his promotional company, obviously with Eddie Hearn being his promoter. That was a very big win. Everything was stacked against me, but, that underdog mentality and the underdog spirit, kept, me fighting in that fight, and I won that fight and absolutely boxed his head off. But that's respect to him as well. He's a former champion and, proved a lot in the sport. The Mickey Bay fight, very similar as well. It was nowhere near a split decision on his own turf. I outboxed him, but I learned a lot in that fight too. That was my first big step up on the world stage. So I'm just getting better and better. And this will be, my greatest win, my greatest victory, and my best performance.
No worries. And Mickey Bay, we've got an exclusive shout out to Sean at FightHype.com. Mickey Bay was actually in the gym recently with Teofimo Lopez. Your thoughts on that? Because he's been in there with you. He knows how you move and groove. You know what I mean? He got knocked down against you. What were your thoughts on that when you saw that?
Oh, I didn't see it. Well, what is it?
No. Mickey Bay was actually in the – Teofimo was in there, and Mickey Bay was in there with him, and they were discussing about the fight coming up. And Mickey Bay wasn't trashing you at all. He was like, Kambosos can go, bro. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's aged a lot since that was really 2.5 years ago now, 2 years with all these extensions.
Yeah.
But it was quite interesting to see that.
Yeah, look, Mick is a veteran of this sport, a guy that, former world champion as well. Mayweather's schooled fighter for over 10 years, was Mayweather's second world champion. So the performance I had against him, and, he was in camp with Richard Comey, and I heard a lot of good rumors that he was doing very well. So he came fully prepared. If he's saying that whatever it is, he was fully prepared for that fight. And look, I wanted 12 rounds for that fight. Unfortunately, with a TV schedule, they only give us 10.
10, yeah.
On his, it was lucky for him because we all saw at round 10 he was out on his feet, very lucky to survive. And if it was another 2 more rounds, he was not going to last. So, anyway, respect to him. I learned a lot from that fight, and it was another great victory in beautiful New York City. That knockdown that I scored right at the end shows the stamina that I have and the explosive power still in round 10. And the movement, the sweet science to land that shot and get in and out. That's the thing of sweet science right there. So great victory, great win, and we're looking forward to doing a big win next week in New York again.
Stylistically, George, is Teofimo Lopez matched for you when you look at him in the fights that he's had with Lomachenko and Comdia and the ones prior to that? Or do you see that he's not as matched for you? Because when it talks about speed and skill, you've got a hell of a lot of speed. Is he matched for you, Teo, do you believe?
He's perfect for me. His style is absolutely perfect for what I have and what I bring to the table. So I'm just looking forward to it. We've got a fantastic game plan, and we are fully prepared for whatever he brings to the table as well. He's going to be very shocked with not only my speed. Everyone knows that I'm super fast, but anyone that's ever been in there with me will realise how explosive I am and how hard I hit as well, especially, from what you were saying before, when I went back home and come back again, and the power that I'm possessing, the way my body looks, the size that I have put on as well, the muscle, the lean mass. Like I said, there really has been no stone unturned. I have taken this extremely serious because it is my biggest opportunity of my lifetime.
Talking about that when you came back to Australia, seeing the kids, the birth of your new child, that must have been a revitalisation for you as well mentally, and then obviously that adapted into the training as well. So that was a refresh because for those who don't know, you were going to stay in America a bit longer. Team Lopez decided, no, we're out of that date. And then obviously you came back. The revitalisation with the family must have been incredible.
Yeah, it was good, man. It's always good to be around your kids and your family and to see, the motivation that they give you. They're the reason why I'm doing it for. I'm there to give them a better life. You know what I mean? And cement a legacy and give them a path to say, look, if you want to do something in your life, you can do it with hard work and dedication and sacrifice. You can go and achieve whatever you want to achieve in your life. People say, man, Kambosos always in the gym. He's been going non-stop. I hope he doesn't burn out. Then people don't realize that I'm always in the gym. I beat Lee Selby and I was in the gym that night. The fight was postponed. Obviously, when Lopez tested positive for COVID, I was in the gym straight away. I had the birth of my third kid and the passing of my grandfather on the same day, 8 weeks ago. And I was still in the gym that night. That's the kind of fighter. That's a testament that I am, that I bring to the table. So, just seeing them, it's gave me a little bit extra spark again. I was away from him for, 3.5, 4 months. So it's funny where you see people say that, Kambosos, after the postponement, he's angry, he's pissed off. No, I'm never pissed off, never angry, but I sacrifice a lot, and more than anger, I was more motivated because, it gave me that more feeling that, okay, you've really taken something away. You took time away from my family and kids. You made me spend, that extra money that could have gone to my kids.
Yeah.
So, it's a lot of inspiration and motivation just there as well.
FightHype.com live here with George Ferocious Kambosos from his camp in Miami, Florida, 9 days out for Lopez versus Kambosos in New York City. Another big fight that's coming up soon, George, that is back in your weight division. Gervonta Davis now taking on Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz, no stranger to the tough and rough side. Your thoughts on that fight and the differences of what Gervonta was going to obviously possess against Roland Romero and now fighting Isaac Cruz?
Yeah, it's a good fight. Probably a better fight, to be honest, than the original fight with that other guy, Rolly, whatever you say his name. This is a real good fight. Isaac Cruz, I've had a look at as well because he was right behind me in the IBF ratings. And if Lopez was going to vacate when I won my eliminator, he would have been the guy that we would have fought for the vacant title. So I had my eyes on him as well, like I do on everyone. I'm always watching the whole lightweight division. I'm always seeing who could be the next guy that is going to come my way because I'm at the top. It's a good fight. I think Tank's going to have too much for him. But again, he has to be careful as well because this guy will make it rough and tough and he will come to fight. But I think Tank will be just too strong for him. I think Cruz hasn't really fought anyone special. His big breakout fight when I beat Lee Selby was against Magdalena, but Magdalena was shot before even Lopez had fought him. So that wasn't nothing special. And, his last fight against the Mexican warrior, that used to be at 130 pounds, was an okay win as well. But again, the guy was over the hill as well. He's been there. I think he was battle-worn and battled, too much punishment in his career. So, it's a good fight. Looking forward to watching it. But, I'll be the ruling the lightweight division, at that stage.
You've spoken about the Haney fight next. Lomachenko's got a fight at Comedy. It's coming up, I think, in December as well. Is it December the 12th? I should be across that. Question from the fans. Would it be Haney next or Lomachenko next? Because for some reason, you've said this online too, you feel Lopez doesn't want to fight Lomachenko again.
No, he doesn't want to fight him. He doesn't want to fight anybody. He's at the end of the day, he would not even want to fight me, trust me. But he got forced in his position where he didn't want to lose that belt. And obviously with the purse bid and everything, he got stuck in a position. He's looking for different ways. He took the risk at the start and he got lucky with a few things that went his way. But he knows a fully healthy Lomachenko is a whole different story. And we saw that fight. The world saw that fight. I saw that fight. And I've studied that fight many times. So, that could be, at the end of the day, you got to give the respect to Lomachenko because he had all the belts. He was bringing all the belts. Lopez only had the IBF. So, he done the hard work to collect them all. So, he could be, but I think Haney, is makes the most sense at this stage. And then it could be Lomachenko after. But we've got to see. Most important for me is I'm fully focused on Lopez. I'm not getting stuck like Lopez has been, where he's been focused on everyone else. He's been focused on Josh Taylor, on, Tank Davis, on, Devin Haney. I'm focused on him. So all that doesn't bother me. All that is just, after this fight.
And like we've said before in our previous FightHype stuff, George, I've actually noticed it, no disrespect to Teo being unbiased, but a lot of people have seen changes in him that they believe that he's talking about all this different stuff and God and bad thoughts and that. George, you're no stranger. You see everything. You're very calculated. You've got the war, the art of war in you. You know this Teofimo Lopez very, very well. You're about to fight him. You've known him in the past. Have you seen a change in this man in the last 6 months?
It's a massive change. You can see it. It's very evident. Not even that I'm studying this guy with everything. Not only the way he fights, but I study everything. I'll make sure I'm on everything. That's the kind of guy I am, because that's how I've always been. War is, you're always looking for that advantage. If I know something that the world doesn't know, and he doesn't want the world to know, but I know it and I've seen it, then that's an advantage in my way. But you can see it. You can see the changes. But again, it doesn't bother me anymore. For me, I'm just focused on what I bring to the table and what I'm going to do next Saturday.
Obviously, you think you're the best 135-pounder in the world, and you're about to prove it next Saturday night in your eyes. However, when you look at the so-called big four with the Lomachenkos, the Haney, the Teofimo, and if they throw Davis in there, when you spoke about Haney before, did you see Haney the best boxer out of those four?
He's a very good boxer. Give him respect. His last fight, he cemented that he boxed well. I know he did get hurt right at the end. Linares is a crafty veteran, and these guys, you got to be wary of them, because they are crafty and they do land them shots. He boxes well, but there are holes as well in his game, and I'm just focused on me becoming the best of the division, and I in my head I believe I'm the best, and next Saturday I get to officially prove it and say, hey, I've got all the belts. I'm the number one now. I'm not the king. The king is a guy that sits in his country and takes over. I'll be the emperor. The emperor takes over many nations, and I've gone over the whole world and been taking out bit by bit, the best that they got. And this is just another day in the life of Ferocious. I love this shit.
George, you also love the other Australian fighters who look up to you. Liam Parra is one of them. Dempsey McKean said it again this morning as well, with some more stuff to come out on FightHype. Liam Parra has a massive fight coming up for his first USA debut on December the 18th. What's your thoughts on Parra and stepping up and fighting on such a massive big pay-per-view card in his first USA debut?
Yeah, look, it's fantastic. It's an absolutely great opportunity. He's been putting in the work here, and when you're going to make it, you're going to make it in the US. Certain fighters think they're going to make it in Australia by just sitting there and fooling the crowd. And trying to make a splash and saying that they're going to do certain things. But when you come over here, it's a whole different level. And I tell you now, this is a great opportunity for Liam, and I'm sure the way he's prepared and the sparring he has got, he's going to be fully prepared to win that fight. And I'm in his corner, supporting him. Whatever he needs, I'll support him and back him. Same as Dempsey as well, man. That's a great opportunity. I know he just signed with Matchroom and Eddie, so he's going to make a big stamp, I'm pretty sure, tomorrow, and start to put the heavyweight division on notice as well. So it's what you got to do. You need to get out of your comfort zone. Not only Australian fighters, but any fighter around the world. Obviously, FightHype is worldwide, so you'll be getting guys from Europe that want to break through. You got to come to the US. This is the mecca of boxing here. You want to make it big, you'll make it big here, and you want to test yourself in the gym, with the hard sparring and open up them doors. You never know who's going to be inside them gyms. That promoter might be there, or that friend of the promoter might be there that says, hey, you got to check this guy out. You got to have a look at him. And then they look at you and they say, okay, we want to sign him. Then your door opens. It happened with me. That's how my career's gone. I've opened up doors with, taking risks. And again, people say, oh, Kambosos Lopez, Lopez this and that. But, the sparring that I've been through, the guys that I've had to fight and be in the gym, let alone inside the ropes, I fully believe what I'm going to do in this fight. And I know what I've been through to win this fight. So, for anyone out there watching that wants to get to that next level, come out here, do whatever you got to do. I used to, for my fights in Australia, be selling the tickets, getting the commission from the tickets, and using the small sponsor money that I had back then to save up to be able to come to the US and have a preparation here and be able to live and eat right and eat healthy, so I can be, in the trenches with these guys and get better and better. Because there's no point fooling the crowd. There's no point fooling in a certain, area where you're from to try and make it. You want to get out there and make it where it really, really happens, and that's the US here. So, a lot of respect and support to them guys that you mentioned, Liam Parra and Dempsey McKean, and any other fighter that take the risk to come to the US.
And I suppose, obviously, being on the right time zone, you'll be able to tune into Dempsey's fight tomorrow, George, I would suggest.
Yeah, 100%. I'll be tuning in. I'll be supporting him, and I'm looking forward to seeing him make a massive splash in the US circuit.
And obviously, shout out to Ace Boxing there, who have done all the work behind the scene. I know you've got a lot of respect for Angelo DiCarlo, Alfie DiCarlo, and the DiCarlo group there who have made the headwaves of putting these fighters not only just in the US to train, but obviously doing the calculated moves behind the scenes. George, you've spoken about that a lot, about the business, 95% out of the ring. Sometimes it's more calculated in the ring. Even at your level is the highest level. It would have been the same for you as well, huh?
Yeah, look, you want to have a right team, the right people behind it, because this game there are a lot of sharks in this game. There are a lot of chameleons in this game that change up their skin real quick when certain things happen. You want to have the right people behind you, the people that you trust, with your life pretty much, because you're stepping inside them ropes. Your life is on the line. So the worst thing you want to do is have people that you don't trust and they throw you into a fight where you shouldn't be there. But if you have the right people behind you and the right roadmap and the game plan to get to the top by any means, and yes, you will take risk. Yes, you will, sometimes say, what, I've got to do it this way, but it's a calculated risk and you're smart. So I've always had that. I've always got a great team behind me, but I'm very calculated myself. I'm very smart with what happens outside of the ropes. And I make sure that whatever's happening with my business, I'm alert and I know what's happening, because last thing you want to do is learn that certain things have happened and you're in no control. You want to be in full control as well.
FightHype.com here live with George Kambosos around the world from his camp here in Miami. We'll wrap it up very shortly. George, let's be honest. How's it going to end on November the 27th when you take on Teofimo Lopez?
I've got all the belts, all the marbles. Everyone's going to see what I bring to the table. Many believe and many don't believe. But the most important thing is I believe in what I bring to the table. So victory by any means. I'm in there. I'm all in, and I will win this fight. All the sacrifice, all the hard work, the times where he took off and he was doing his thing and having fun. I've been in the trenches, in the gym, on the roads. I really have not stopped. It's going to pay off in this fight. Pay off big.
One man I respect a hell of a lot, and we do it FightHype, Leonard Alvarez, who's been involved in some of the biggest pay-per-view events of all time. Him and Floyd, they've done the biggest. They know the business backwards. He's been a little bit disgruntled towards Teofimo, but Teofimo's been a little bit disgruntled to him. Is Lopez picking enemies within the business by disrespecting Leonard and Showtime and PBC?
Yeah, I have seen that before. He has disrespected Leonard as well. And, Leonard obviously follows me on Twitter. I follow him as well. And, he has, tweeted some stuff about myself and the respect that I have. And there is a respect level between each other right there. These guys are guys that, I was seeing when I was coming up, and even as a young amateur, being a big Floyd fan as well. These guys know the game inside out. So, if you want to start battles with guys of this much respect in the sport, it's the wrong path. But that's on him. That's his problem. At the end of the day, I got my business and what I got to do, and I know, if they're going to disrespect guys like that, then it's going to come and bite them in the ass eventually. But next Saturday, there is a there's been a lot of disrespect my way as well from the Lopez team, and it's coming to bite them in the ass as well.
And then you feel, George, like the likes of all these people, whether it's the Leonard Alvarez, the Mickey Bays, the people that have decided that they don't like Lopez will then turn to you and be big fans of yours?
I believe so. I believe, I've got a lot of people behind me and a lot of support, and a lot of these fighters and promoters are supporting me and in my corner. I feel that. But, at the end of the day, like I said, I believe in myself, and I know what I bring to the table, and I know my team knows what I bring to the table. And I've been sharper than I've never been sharper than what I have been right now. The way I'm hitting, the IQ that I have at the moment is unbelievable. I'm going to win this fight. I will win this fight by any means necessary.
No worries. We'd like to thank you, George Ferocious Kambosos. Undisputed belts on the live here with FightHype.com around the world, mate. We thank you so much for your time today, and it was great to have a lot of the fans come in and ask the questions, and obviously you answer them. And you're a man of the people and a man of the fans, and we know you love FightHype, and thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure. FightHype is always supporting me, and I always got their back as well. I appreciate the support and appreciate all the fans jumping on, and tune in next Saturday. It's going to be a hell of a fight, and the world will be shocked.
No worries.